welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, today actually we're going to be discussing something that a lot of people are talking about, but it's a debate that was actually, the catalyst for the debate. It was a column by Pawan Verma. He's, as you know, he's a former Rajya Sabha member of the JDU, but I also see him as a kind of thought leader who sets these, very provocative thoughts in his editorials, and then, gets the political class at least debating such an issue. So his latest column is, in fact, we have Pawan with us, so I'm going to be asking him, but basically he's saying that since the Congress is not really working out as an alternative, then the opposition is looking for an alternative. But could the alternative come from within the Congress, a party like the Grand Old Party with personnel from the Grand Old Party? That's a very interesting one. Or could, a smaller regional party with national aspirations be the hub for, where all these people will go? I'll let him explain the column to me. In fact, without further ado, joining me is Pawan Verma, of course, and Yashwant Deshmukh. He's the founder and director of Sea Voter. Ashutosh, he's the founder and of satyahindi.com, and of course Rashid Kidwai, author of 24 Akbar Road. So Pawan, I think the floor is really with Pawan. Let's get him to tell us what he wrote in the column, and then we'll get everybody's views on it.
Thank you, Priya. The essential point I was making is that a democracy which is functional, a vibrant democracy, needs an effective opposition. The opposition cannot be mandated by the constitution, it must be created. And if there is the absence of an effective opposition, it is dangerous for democracy because it can sanction and legitimize authoritarian and majoritarian trends in the government. So we need an opposition. Accountability is a key word in democracy. Now, the current opposition is fractured, it's divided. And the principal opposition party, the Congress party, appears to be ineffective. And the performance in 2014 and 2019 shows that given time also, it is perhaps not being able to put its act together. Now, if that is the case, we are faced with a genuine crisis. And there must be out-of-the-box thinking. It is in that context that I wrote my column, making certain suggestions or indications or allusions which have been debated, because I am definitely pointing towards the possibility of something that can, in the long run, but also in the short term, provide that effective opposition. There must be a new entity to fill that space. And that is why I mentioned the elements within my column.
I'll get Ashutosh in next. In fact, Ashutosh did a brilliant show also on his satyahindi.com on Pawan's column, which also was the trigger for this show today. In fact, I must confess, Ashutosh. I think Pawan was also hinting at the TMC. He's not saying it, but a smaller regional party with national aspirations could be your old friend Arvind Kejriwal, could be the TMC. A lot of people are asking, is TMC the new Congress? So I want to ask you, can TMC be the new Congress?
Priya, I think that a question should be put aside for a bit. No disrespect to Pawanji, because what I'm going to say, maybe he will not like it. But the fact is that I have tremendous respect for him, for his intellectual caliber and other things also. I think I read the whole article and I was really provoked to do the discussion on that. Though I kept my views to myself, but today I'm expressing as a panelist for the simple reason, because here I am as a panelist. I think it's a manifesto for 100 years of authoritarianism in the country. And why I'm saying so, and I'm very seriously saying so, for the simple reason, because we have to understand the Indian democracy, and we also understand the nature of Congress party and the nature of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the two principal political parties in the country. The nature of Indian democracy is very feudalistic. And if I call it a little bit of Kabilai also, then I won't be wrong. Because you see any political party in this country, all of the political parties are dynastic in their nature. So they are dynastic in the nature. That means this is not a classical, traditional, democratic setup which is prevalent all over the world, especially in the Western countries. The Congress party, for the simple reason, is like Bharatiya Janata Party. You cannot make a distinction between, you cannot think about Bharatiya Janata Party without RSS and the Hindutva. Similarly, the Congress Party, you cannot think about without the Nehru Gandhi family. And Nehru Gandhi family is, I'm not talking about the family per se, I'm talking about the ethos. The ethos which has a value system, which is a universality of our freedom struggle. So if you remove Nehru Gandhi family from the Congress Party, there is no Congress Party. And the fourth point,
remove the Congress from the Nehru Gandhi family, the exodus of Congress leaders.
That's what I'm coming to you. So if there is no Nehru Gandhi family in terms of ethos, then there is no Congress per se. Fourth point is, I think it's why I'm saying so. It's a manifesto for 100 years of authoritarianism, because a party which started in 1925, it took almost 100 years to reach where they are, to starting a new political party and taking on the majoritarian and the authoritarian government at the center. It's an impossibility where we are discussing. Now, I understand there is a serious threat to Indian democracy. There is a serious threat of fascism taking over the country. But how can we fight it? We can fight it if Congress Party is forced to regain its old moorings. If Congress Party is forced to take certain steps, which it's not taking that step. So my point is that like Aam Aadmi Party, it started as a new political party, but look, in 2015, it was thought to be an all India alternative to the Congress Party. But where it has shrunk to 1 or 2 states. That's a problem with the new political party coming up. If there is a new political party, I see no future for another 20 years. Absolutely no future for another 20 years. And that too, maybe a state, a 2 state, or 3 states. Because politics in this country is so diverse and so entrenched with the feudal mindset. To change that mindset, get a secular party taking the space is an impossibility.
Rashid, your take on the thing. Do you see these Congress leaders leaving? The whole thing is Nehru. I agree with Ashutosh. Congress without the Gandhis is impossible. But the G23, there's a pilot. People have already left. Do you see a chunk of the Congress walking away?
Yeah, first of all, I want to compliment Mr. Pawan Verma for writing a very thought-provoking piece. Normally, see, he's a scholar, academician, a very cerebral, writer, and I would say a politician also. But many times, Priya, we see that when such people write, there is always a mismatch in what they write and what is the ground situation. I am complimenting him because for the first time, I saw a piece on Congress which very much matches with what is going on within the Congress. So this is point number 1. Point number 2 is that all the things are there. Rahul is failing and faltering, but the G23 or whatever you want to say, disgruntled leaders, they're not able to muster, courage to throw a leadership challenge. And then there is a kind of, sideshow called Priyanka Gandhi. So Priyanka Gandhi is there to kind of prevent some kind of split within the Congress. But I am saying that I don't think that, Congress party as such is a prisoner of Nehru Gandhi family. If a leadership emerges, then people will come around. Very few people remember when Indira Gandhi, left in 1977. Very few, 1/3 or 1/4 of people had left. Only a handful of people had gone of consequence. But so we need a kind of Indira Gandhi minus a Gandhi in the Congress to trigger that, and people would come around. It's not that because a lot of people are unhappy with Rahul Gandhi, his style of functioning, etc. The Gandhi family knows this, so that is why they propped up Priyanka, and they are trying to delay this whole process. But I think sooner or later this would eventually happen. Last thing, Rahul Gandhi wants that.
Rahul Gandhi wants to purge all the G23 and bring in his own people, the new Congress, like Kanhaiya Kumar. Yeah. Okay. Well, Yashwantji, your take on the Congress, in terms of the opposition, how does that happen? Is the Congress going to step up, or Congress leaders are going to leave for new pastures like a Mamta or a Arvind Kejriwal?
Well, there is hardly I can disagree with all the other panelists right now. They are talking from their experience, and between them, understandably from public administration to politics to journalism, in between, there is quite a substantial experience between these 3 people. And what I am trying to put together is a jigsaw piece puzzle. I'm missing few pieces. There is truth in whatever these 3 gentlemen are saying, but there are some missing pieces. Like, obviously, Congress has failed and faltered big time, no doubt about it. I mean, there is no national alternative right now. Is there an alternative to the Gandhis right now? I don't think so. Similarly, is there an alternative to Congress right now? I agree with Ashutosh. I'm afraid it's not. You know, Marathi bhi सवा लाख का होता है वाले अंदाज में, you know, they still managed to poll almost about 20% in the last general election. Every fifth voter is still voting for the Congress. Almost about 250 seats, half the parliament, we still have where it is Congress versus the BJP, direct fight, you know. So when I look into the numbers, and I'm talking purely from the numbers perspective, you know, you know it very well. You have seen our West Bengal tracker. We were the only one, a very hyper way have been rooting for Mamata Banerjee that she is going to sweep Bengal, come what may. But when I look into the impact on the national ratings as an alternative to Modi or as an alternative at the national level, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't see that kind of a bump in Mamata Banerjee's rating post May, which I was expecting all of a sudden she would be catapulted to the national scenario as the giant slayer and everything, you know, but that didn't happen. So if you remove Narendra Modi's name from the top of the mind recall of the leader that people want as the prime minister, then the top name after that comes as Rahul Gandhi. And Arvind Kejriwal is half of what Rahul Gandhi's ratings are. And Mamata Banerjee is still way below Arvind Kejriwal. So, you know what I'm trying to say? That somewhere there is a disconnect between the Kolkata narrative and the national narrative. If there is one person, yes, her number went up. She was at the national level, she was polling around 1.5%. Post West Bengal, that went up to 4.5%. Right now, it is back to 3.5%, something like that. So why is that her name is not catching the public imagination across India? You know, why is that she is not all of a sudden getting 15, 16, 20% rating as it should have ideally been if you look into the hype around the West Bengal election and the way she was celebrated around, you know. The reason probably is we are probably way too much over-focused on Narendra Modi and the national elections. We are probably thinking as if it's a new phenomenon in India that some strong leader has come out of the blue. It's not like that. 50s, 60s, 70s. India has always been a one single leader kind of a country where whichever way that leader has come in, it has taken up and filled up the public imagination and taken the lead, and then between the first and the second, the gap has been substantial. You know, that's how it has always been. Why I am saying so is that while we are over-focused on Modi and BJP at the center, we simply forget that the balance of the democracy which the public provides in its mandate has always been maintained even today. We simply forget that in over-focusing of Modi, that in the last 7 years, public of India has defeated BJP in 50% of the elections. If you take into account all the elections that have happened in last 7 years, BJP has been defeated very soundly in 50% of the elections.
Other than Gandhi, someone other than the Congress.
Someone, no, not even that is not true. Even that is not true, Priya.
That is not true.
We have only 1.5 years back, we have seen sweeping mandates in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. We have seen public giving Congress a mandate in Manipur, or Congress a mandate in Goa, which they just could not do politically correct.
Okay.
You know, so political lethargy. First of all, we cannot blame the public for not giving the right alternative. Public has been maintaining the balance wonderfully. And it is for the leaders, for them to introspect if they are unable to catch the public imagination. So the reason why Mamata Banerjee is unable to take that kind of a catapult to the national level is the fact that in the last 7 years at the local level, public has given 50% of the mandates extreme level anti-BJP. So what I'm simply trying to say, Mamta winning West Bengal in public imagination is not really a new thing. Nitish Kumar did it with Mahagathbandhan. So did Arvind Kejriwal twice. So did Kamal Nath. So did Sachin Pilot. So did Bhupen, so did Stalin. So
I
did.
got it.
So
I'm
many
going to cut
others.
you short because I want to give Pawan also some time to respond to this, and we'll come back again for another round. But we're going to take a break and let's hear Pawan Verma's response to what the conversation has been so far. And we were discussing, the idea that the alternative to the Congress within the opposition. You heard everybody's thoughts, So I would really like to know what your reaction to what everybody said.
No, I just want to say that who has said, I was the last person to say that it's going to be necessarily an easy or a smooth task. There are challenges. There will be impediments and obstacles. My point is very simple. You can focus on why it is not possible and focus on why it should be made possible. And there are two different things here. I have no problem with the existing Congress, including its leadership, if it delivers as an opposition. And we must make a distinction here between assembly elections and parliamentary elections. In assembly elections, there can be the case like in Chhattisgarh, where Congress, even under the current leadership, won an overwhelming majority. And in assembly elections, whether it's the left in Kerala or the DMK in Tamil Nadu or Naveen Patnaik in Odisha or Mamta in West Bengal, there are strong regional leaders who can keep the ruling party at bay. However, in the parliamentary elections, the issue does come, who can take on BJP and the Narendra Modi. That's why I used an expression in my column, fire in the belly, who is focused and who will take on the BJP. My unfortunate conclusion is that the Congress as presently constituted, and I analyze what its ailments are, is not in a position in a parliamentary election to provide the alternative to Narendra Modi and the BJP. Now we can continue to wait that someday the Congress will reform or that it will be forced to reform. I ask you, how long do you wait? Point number one, you saw 2014. There was to be introspection, internal assessment, change, and revamp. Did it happen? You had 2019. Did it happen? Now we are 2.5 years away from the next parliamentary election. And I believe that we need to provide a robust challenge to this present regime. Who can do it? Now there are parties who are breakaways from the Congress. They are originally of the Congress. And there are, within the Congress, there are the rank and file, there is a great degree of drift. They are looking for some leadership. While staying in the Congress, their option is not the AAP necessarily. Their option will certainly not be the BJP. But their option could be another Congress to which they have their original loyalties, which has the fire, the energy, the dynamism, the thrust, the focus to move ahead on a pan-Indian basis. So it has to be elements of the Congress itself, and it has to be a party that can be recognized to be a useful ally by other opposition parties which are holding the fort in their own areas. You need a leader who can then cooperate with Sharad Pawar, for instance, or anyone else with DMK, who can be accepted to be part of the ring, the mandala of parties who would collectively take on this current regime. Right now, many of these opposition parties, in fact, look upon the Congress as a liability. Therefore, we need to think out of the box. So I can continue to be a status quoist and say it's very difficult for this to happen. Yes, it is, but it's not undoable. It can be choreographed. A regional party can, by sheer planning and strategic management, acquire a national profile. and it can be done within a time bound period. And or we can say, no, let's wait for the Congress to change and continue to wait till when?
Yeah.
So I am making a plea for thinking out of the box. I'm not making a plea that here is a pat solution which can be implemented. It's not an easy solution.
Point is well taken.
Priya, can I?
Actually,
Yeah,
point is well
Santosh,
taken, and yes, I mean, nobody likes a status quo. We all, I think we recognize and acknowledge the issues that Congress and the opposition is facing. The only thing which I actually agree with Ashutosh is that, in order to make that happen, you need either a mass public movement like the JP movement, or for that matter, even to a large extent, even Anna movement for that matter, that kind of an issue-based mobilization from the masses, or something like what BJP got benefited, like a mother organization like RSS, which is working non-stop on the ground, creating cadre, even in the worst of their times, and then produce, its political byproduct BJP or political offshoot results in that way. So unfortunately, when I look around, Pawanji, I don't see either of that happening, because public anger is, regardless of so many things that can be turned into a massive public anger against this government, somehow it is still not happening, for you, and we can have a different discussion on that. Let's not go into the reason of that, whatever the reason, but the public anger did build up at the local level, and public did vote on that. Public did defeat BJP, Modi, Shah, their machinery, whatever the shock and awe that everybody looks at them. But at the same time, at the national level, somehow the large public perception or opinion is still going along with Mr. Modi. And I will not. I have a slight difference between.
For the lack of an effective opposition, Yashwantji.
Exactly.
The lack of an effective opposition.
No, I get it. I get it. But I'm totally agreeing with you with hypothetically what you are saying. I am only looking at from the data perspective or the disconnect. I see that what could be the issue. I'm just trying to map that and try to pull in data for what you are saying. That way. Look at my arguments.
Let's get Ashutosh in also. Yeah, Ashutosh.
See, Priya, what the concern Pawanji has expressed, I think it's a very, very valid concern. And there is a serious threat to Indian democracy. There is no doubt about it. But the point is that today, if the only political party, the only leadership which is fighting Modi government is Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi and the Congress party. Rest of the leadership, whether you take the Mamata Banerjee, Sharad Pawar or anybody, they are not fighting at all. And they are confining themselves within the state itself. So now the issue is, if you compare with the post-1984, then there was a concern by the towering leaders like N.T. Ramarao, like Devilal, like Ramakrishna Hegde, like others, VP Singh. They had a national approach and the national concern that Indian democracy will be in jeopardy if the Congress party gets more than 400 seats and it tries to terrorize others. So they came out from the regional confines. They created an alternative, and they saw to it that alternative is created in the form of VP Singh, supported by left and right both. Today, Mamata Banerjee is a tall leader, no doubt about it. But does Mamata Banerjee has a national concern? If she has, then she should come out. She should visit to all political leaders. Tell them, that this is the dangers today. You are not coming out. I'm sorry to say, neither Sharad Pawar, nor Mamata Banerjee, nor Uddhav Thackeray, nor Naveen Patnaik, none of these leaders have the national approach, national concerns, and they are not worried about. They are more worried about maintaining their own status within a particular state. So you can't today, if there is a
There is
only one name, Ashutosh, that you missed on in this entire argument, which my data is kind of picking up, is your old party. I tell you, Ashutosh, because
Arvind Kejriwal. Okay. Ashutosh quickly, then Pawan wants to come and then I'll give Rashid the
and
last word.
I think what I will not get into the Arvind Kejriwal because my personal biases are there. What I'm saying is that today there is a possibility that Sharad Pawar, Mamata Banerjee can come out openly and say, we are dissolving our units into the Congress party.
exactly.
And let's create a procedure at the all India level where whosoever is chosen will lead the party. Is Sharad Pawar willing to do that? Is Mamata Banerjee willing to do that?
Nobody
Is
willing
Jagan Mohan Reddy is willing to do that? No. KCR is willing to do that. No, they are not willing to do that. Now the issue is, if
Brilliant.
these leaders, they do not have a national concern and the threats which Indian democracy is facing, then you can't blame only the Congress party.
All right.
Ashutosh,
Pawan,
can I
quickly
add to what
let
Ashutosh
Pawan come.
said?
We're totally out of time. I want to give Rashid the last word also. Huh?
Quick response. And it's short.
Hmm.
Yes, Ashutosh, they have not come out with a national profile as yet. But I'll leave it at an enigmatic point. What if they do in a well-planned manner, also liaising with others who see the importance of a national perspective? What if? I leave it there from my point of view, because so far they have been confined largely to their states. No attempt has been made. And so let us leave this debate for the moment, and there will be more such developments. What if a particular leader sheds that regional constraint and comes out nationally, appeals to the, because we need a Congress. There are 200 seats on which the Congress is fighting the BJP directly. If you don't win half of them, the BJP will continue to rule this country in perpetuity, especially with a divided opposition. So there is a need. Now, either Ashutosh, you believe that Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka ji can deliver. Always a benefit of doubt should be given, but how long do you want to wait? So the argument is not against the entity like the Congress. The argument is in its current status.
Yashwant, you wanted to come in and then I'll
Can
get
I-
Rashid.
I just wanted to continue where Ashutosh left, because Ashutosh said that he did leave out one name because of his personal bias. I don't have any such bias, but what I can tell you on the number that for long, the only person in the only party which has been so far slightly capturing the national imagination beyond Congress has been Aam Aadmi Party. Because post Mr. Sangma's death and regionalization and Tariq also going away, NCP has become, for all practical matter, a one single state party.
Okay.
Now, 6 months later, if somehow AAP manages to become a single largest party, as the numbers are showing in Punjab, doesn't even win, just becomes a single largest party in Punjab, manages to eclipse Congress in Goa, which again the numbers are showing, manages to ensure that Congress gets defeated in Uttarakhand, these kind of things, then all of a sudden the national imagination on that one particular leader and party might change. I'm not saying that it will become an alternative, but that debate can change. However, I totally agree with Ashutosh on one point. If the regional parties, these regional Chhatraps, are so keen on, and they have been most of them are ex-Congress people. We all know that. Forget about merging the party and everything. The minimum that they can do, Ashutosh, is to say that, okay, we will contest the Vidhan Sabha election on our own, defeat and keep the state power with us.
Together. Okay, quickly, Ashutosh,
contest the Lok Sabha election on the Congress symbol.
Priya,
Why can't they even commit to say that we will contest the election on the Congress symbol? Forget about, we are not merging anything. Let's contest on the Congress symbol. But will they do it? That's the question.
That's a
my
good question,
limited point about Mamata Banerjee is, Mamata Banerjee has the stature, she has a fire in the belly, she can fight, and if she starts touring outside Bengal, I'm dead sure she will get the traction. It's like Modi in Gujarat. When he was not coming outside Gujarat, people thought he will not get the traction. He got the traction. He had the RSS organization in the BJP.
But she has to move out of
Mamata
Bengal.
Banerjee, if gets out of the West Bengal, she will get the traction, because it's not about organization.
Got it. Now I want to give Rashid the last word. Come on, Rashid. Sorry,
very quickly. Yeah, actually, it's a very kind of fascinating. I actually enjoyed hearing every argument and every thought of it. See, the Congress, there, I think, but we are mixing many issues. There are two key things here. One is what happens internally in the Congress. 48 times Congress has witnessed minor or major split. 16 times, you see, those parties which had left came back. So this is a legacy and history of Congress party. So there is I agree with Mr. Pawan Verma that it's a kind of Janata-dalization of Congress is starting, or what KCG used to say that, bum bum moment in the Congress. So how it will shape up. Now regional parties are very much aware. They will be, they will go with the winning side. So it's not going to be an easy thing, whether it's Mamata Banerjee or Sharad Pawar or all, regional parties, they will do business with the Congress, faction of the Congress, which is more successful. That is that they are far more pragmatic, and Gandhis are not going to give up very easily because of, as I said, Priyanka factor, and they have a stranglehold over resources, assets, party offices, in the eyes of election commission, that voter enroll, membership, etc. So this is going to be a fascinating battle, and it may be advantage BJP till this time these things settle down.
Yeah, but it's a good time to start this conversation 2.5 years before the next general election. So I'm glad we had this debate. And Pawan, I think you managed to convince some people towards the end of it that Mamata or someone like her may be an option. So well done. And we'll see you again soon for another conversation. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.